there any rights that you still feel you don't have?
Well, I'm not liking what I'm seeing as far as people using religion in an effort to discriminate against gay people, the LGBTQ community. We're seeing these cases come up where, bakers, etc., they're suing so that they don't have to serve people based on their own religious affiliation. I think that's dead wrong.
So you think that somebody whose religious belief is to not do that should be forced to do that, to essentially make a cake for a gay couple?
If you don't want to have if your religious beliefs will not allow you to have a cake baked by a gay person, go somewhere else. That's how I feel. There's a lot of
I agree, go somewhere else. Why would you want to force somebody who doesn't want to make your wedding cake to make your cake?
Right.
So why would the gay couple not just say, hey, I'll take my money elsewhere, to somebody who wants to make gay cakes?
I agree. I agree.
So you agree that we shouldn't force them to bake gay cakes?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
So do you agree that we should not force the religious person to go against their religious beliefs and bake the gay cake?
If they want to discriminate, I think they should be sued. Nobody should be allowed to discriminate in this country based on religion.
I'm a Christian. I'm a member of a church, and I believe strongly, and I know a lot of my Christian friends don't support same-sex marriage, and the government cannot constitutionally impose itself on those churches. In other words, I have no right, and I cannot under the Constitution get the right to tell the Roman Catholic Church or Roman Catholic priest, you have to allow this same-sex wedding.
But what you could say is, well, if they're discriminating, then...
It's discrimination in employment, public services, restaurants. All right, we already have a precedent in this country.
The cake baker actually said his business was a private business and that he was allowed to discriminate and say, I don't want to be forced to make a cake that's against my religious beliefs.
Private business. I live in an apartment house. I have a landlord. That's a private business. Under existing law, my landlord cannot say, I won't rent to you because you're gay, or I won't rent to you because you're African American, or whatever he or she may not like, okay? There's no such thing as a private business. Every business is a public service.
So what about YouTube?
There's a precedent for every private business not to discriminate on the basis of race, right? Or religion. No landlord can say to me, I'm not going to rent to you because you're a Christian. Churches are different. The government does not have the constitutional power to pass an anti-discrimination law that prevents churches from following their own beliefs concerning marriage.
What about religious people?
If you own a private business, you've got to obey the law. It's that simple.
Let's talk about private businesses. Let's talk about YouTube, and Twitter, who's been kicking off conservatives from their platforms. They claim that they can do that because they're a private business.
They are.
Do you think that that's okay to discriminate in that way?
No, I don't.
Do you?
But they're a private business.
So they have a right to?
Take it to court. Ultimately, a lot of these decisions are going to be decided in court, and we'll see where the Supreme Court goes if it goes that high.
So do you support it, though? Do you support them kicking conservatives off their platform and discriminating?
Whose platform?
YouTube and Twitter.
I had just found out about
And
this. I have to give
Facebook.
it thought.
Were you kicked off of YouTube? Infowars, were you kicked off of YouTube?
We've had several strikes on our account, and it's been like fighting tooth and nail to keep our channel still on, have our stuff's been demonetized.
Right.
I know people personally who've been kicked off of Twitter. I know of people who've been kicked off of Facebook. Diamond and Silk, for example, they were kicked off. It took a congressional hearing for Facebook to finally put them back on. So yes, people have been being kicked off.
Well, I support you. I think it's wrong, and it's also unconstitutional. It's a violation of your freedom of speech and freedom of expression to be kicked off of social media. That's a
All
public
right.
service and a public platform.
All right, thank you.